Agnifilo, who was representing Diddy at the time and still is, denied the allegations and stated that Diddy had never met this man in his life. Diddy was unaware of the lawsuit, and Mark Agnifilo said that this man is a fraud. He said that it was fraudulent. So the judge back in September did vacate the default judgment, and then the case went into some type of litigation for a moment, but it was ultimately dismissed. The order was that the judge dismissed the case. So he had been awarded this $100 million by default. Mark Agnifilo sweeps in, they vacate the judgment, and I believe the case actually did get dismissed. Now, just for the record and for your information, Cardello Smith is currently serving a prison sentence for multiple convictions, including himself SUL conduct and kidnapping. So some of the exact same things that are being alleged against Diddy, both criminally and civilly, these are things that Cardello Smith has already apparently been convicted on and is serving a federal prison sentence. He has filed several lawsuits in his prison sentence while he's been serving his time. And one of them, for example, was against the Archdiocese, the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Detroit. He alleged SUL abuse by clergy members, which apparently allegedly happened to him between 1979 and 1993. So I was just, poking around on Pacer yesterday.
I want to show you the difference between a 401k and an index universal life policy. So 401k does build cash value. Now it's usually
yesterday. And I saw a brand new lawsuit filed, and it was a familiar name. So see, not that one, this one right here, this purple one. As you can see, it was filed officially on the docket just 2 days ago. Today is March 20th. This is March 18th, 2025. And I saw a familiar name. So of course I clicked on it. I'm always trying to keep up with the new cases coming out, especially, okay, there's a familiar name. So as you can see, this is an unusual looking docket, and it says originating court information. This is a lawsuit that originated in October 2024. Okay, so what we're looking at is an appeal. He's appealing. Here's the case number. We are going to look at that. We're going to look at what he actually filed. This is just some administrative paperwork. The appeal has been docketed as this case number. Please review for accuracy. Again, y'all, he is in jail/prison in Detroit. He has until April next month to pay the filing fee or some type of financial affidavit. Okay, so these are just instructions, but it's given to him from the court. So I want to click on the originating court documents, and here it is. As you can see, this docket starts in October 2024, and there have been quite a few filings. Look, they got Gene Deal is a material witness. This is just something that I noticed as I'm scrolling. He's talking about a hitman. He's talking about Kim Worthy, a former judge. He submitted an investigator's report. And it looks like back in February, the judge did deny Derek Lee Cardello Smith's motion for leave to file an amendment motion because he wanted to amend or correct his complaint or some paperwork. And the judge said, no, I've had enough. Judith Levy said no. But that all brings us to this filing, which did happen literally yesterday. Okay, and I'm going to pull it up. There's two motions here I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you all the one that was filed on the 18th. I'm going to show you all the one that was filed literally just yesterday on the 19th. So let me pull those up. It's kind of weird that these were filed so recently because they do look like old documents. Like they look like, because they're typed on a typewriter. Because again, he is in jail. He's not like out here with Microsoft Word and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe they give you Microsoft Word in jail. I've never been. But here's the filing from the 18th, y'all. And this is truly groundbreaking, and it is a bombshell. I am surprised not one single person has said anything about this quite yet. He said he's filing the above. So again, this is an appeal. He is appealing. He's filing a writ of habeas corpus, and he's got an enumerated list. Number one, defendants all work together to wrongfully convict this plaintiff for the charged offenses of criminal S conduct and to hide other crimes that were committed. The attached documents and affidavits verify this plaintiff's claims that are articulated herein. Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs framed this plaintiff, he says. Diddy used a crooked assistant Wayne County prosecutor to conduct this act of placing Derek Lee Cardello Smith in prison. Diddy worked with the prosecutor, Kim L. Worthy, and it resulted in a complete violation of this plaintiff's due process and a wrongful conviction. Diddy framed him, he says. This is my petition seeking release from custody as the defendants. He's blaming the government too. Worked to frame me and have me placed in the custody of the Michigan Department of Corrections, where various prison wardens carried out judgments of sentences that were obtained through illegally obtained criminal prosecutions that were the result of bribes being paid. You're going to see Derek Lee Cardello Smith has attached some actual evidence, and it's notarized. He said there were bribes paid to the district court magistrate judges, and even worse, done so by corrupt police officers and assistant prosecuting attorneys. Detroit police officer Nicole Rabier has effectively admitted in a March 5th, 2025, so this month, 15 days ago, 2 weeks ago, there is an affidavit by this former or maybe current Detroit police officer named Nicole Rabier, and we're going to look at it. She says she has been working for Sean Combs. She was paid to frame this man, and she has admitted her role in the form of a full admission to these acts to frame the petitioner as detailed within the affidavit attached. And Derek Lee Cardello Smith is saying the court needs to consider this. He further states that the affidavit of recantation from Andrea Romarito, or maybe Bomarito, even further shows and proves that she worked directly for Sean Combs and is something else that this court must consider, because she even recants the charges and has done so in this matter, every other matter available. Derek says the respondents all worked to convict him of his prisons. And he's saying, I didn't do the stuff that they said I did. I was framed. I'm serving prison time because I was framed. He's saying now he has evidence. And because he has this new evidence, this newly discovered evidence, which are these two affidavits we're going to read in a moment, he says the case has to be opened back up. The order of dismissal, all of those things, it has to be opened back up. Because look at this new evidence. I didn't have it at the time. I have it now as of March 5th. So he says they all worked together to convict him. And they did so for the sole purpose of keeping him quiet while he was framed for crimes that he did not commit. Number 4, he says he submits that the affidavit of Suzette Samuels, who was an assistant Wayne County prosecutor, supports his claims and even further supports that he has been wrongfully convicted and held in custody in violation of the state and federal constitutions requiring reversal. Number 5, he said, I submit to this court that the detailed lists within verify and support that I was framed by the respondents, and these affidavits require a hearing and require action on the merits of the claims. What relief does he want? He wants an order granting a writ of habeas corpus and an order for the release of his release. So here is an affidavit. I mean, look at it. Affidavit or offer of proof filed in court, and it appears to be notarized. Okay. It appears notarized. Now, I guess take it with a grain of salt, but it appears like an affidavit which is notarized and filed in court. Again, this man is convicted as a criminal. He claims he is innocent. He claims he was framed. I don't know. I wasn't there. But for the purposes of conviction, he has been convicted. And so that probably would be something that would be brought up. I did look up Nicole Rabier, and it does appear that at least at some point there was a police officer. Maybe there still is, but there certainly was at one point a police officer in Detroit police officer who was named Nicole Rabier. It's spelled like that. Okay, so she says, my name is Nicole Rabier. I'm an officer who authorized the police report in the city of Detroit, January 13th, 2008, against Derek Lee Cardello Smith. He's a current prisoner with the Michigan Department of Corrections. The conviction was obtained as a result of my investigator's report, and I state the following information and facts as true and accurate. She has a little list here. Number 1, the police report I submitted against Derek Lee Cardello Smith for kidnapping an SA of Tina, the victim, is false. No one's talking about this. This was filed 2 days ago. Someone purporting to be a police officer is saying that they submitted a false police report to frame this man. Number 2, the police report I submitted against this man for kidnapping an SA of Andrea, another victim, is false. Number 3, I was ordered to make the false police report against Mr. Cardello Smith by Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs, Kim Worthy, who is a Wayne County prosecutor, Suzette Samuels, an assistant Wayne County prosecutor, and Jose Ortiz, a detective in the Detroit Police Department. So she's saying not only did Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs order her to file these fake police reports, and she's saying she's a police officer. This is notarized. This is apparently notarized. She said not only did Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs do this, order her to do this, but she alleges that also the Wayne County prosecutor, an assistant Wayne County prosecutor, and somebody from the Detroit Police Department, who I guess would be her boss, a detective, ordered her to do this. Number 4, I was also paid a total of $132,000 cash by Sean Combs to issue the false police report of kidnapping an SA against Derek Lee Cardello Smith. And she even put in the police report number. Number 5, my family's lives and my life had been threatened by this man. I'm assuming she means Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. And the only way to save them was to go through the police report. Was to go through with the police report. I filed in this case, and even though I knew it was a betrayal of my badge and my oath as a police officer, I followed through with these actions, and I had no other choice. Y'all, take it for what it is, but it appears a police officer from the Detroit Police Department is claiming she was paid $132,000 and ordered to make false police reports against this man to frame him and put him in jail, to keep him quiet. She said she did so because her family's lives were threatened. Number 6, my commanding officer on the Northeastern District 5 had me go through with this action, as I have done in many other cases before, and as I will also do and have to do continuously. She goes on, number 7, Derek Cardello Smith never kidnapped anyone. The man is in prison right now. Nor did he ever SA anyone. He was the victim that evening, she says.
My friend recently asked me for some money and I was like, why aren't you using Empower? When I need cash and my paycheck is gone, I just use it.
Number 8, the arrest warrant was paid for by me. So she's saying she paid a judge for the arrest warrant, and others, by me and others, directly to the magistrate judge of the 36th District Court. It says he was paid a total of $5,000 for signing the arrest warrant, as he has been paid in many cases and as he works for Sean Combs. So she's saying the judge works for Diddy, and he accepted a $5,000 payment to sign an arrest warrant. And this arrest warrant was based on false police reports, which were also ordered by Sean Combs. This is the allegation. Okay, this is the allegation. This is a federal court filing. This is a publicly filed federal court filing. Okay, I am not making this up. Does it mean it's true? No, of course it doesn't. People file fake stuff in court all the time. Trust me, believe me, I'm a victim of it. But this is very important to bring up, I think. So it's the first video I'm making today, 6:43. She says the judge was paid. She personally paid the judge $5,000. This judge works for Diddy, she says. I was connected to him and forced to pay him, and I paid him the money for these warrants that I knew were false and he knew were false, and especially in Derek's case, all charges were false. This woman needs to go to prison. I'm sorry. Everyone who does stuff like this needs to go to prison. If you're admitting stuff like this, you need to be the one. You go take his spot. She goes on in this affidavit, and this was notarized this month. It looks kind of like, old and stuff, but this says March 5th, 2025 is when this was notarized by Marcus Ashford, the notary public. She goes on, I was present. This is number 9. I was present when Patricia Penman, detective with the Wayne County and Dearborn Police Department. This officer goes on to say, I was present when a detective with the Wayne County and Dearborn Police Department paid. Stop. This is mind-blowing. It's almost like my first knee-jerk reaction is like, it's too outrageous to be true. But then my immediate second reaction is, that's the perfect thing to do. Something so outrageous, nobody would believe it's true. Who would believe number 9? I was present when Patricia Penman, a detective for the county and the Dearborn Police Department, paid a hitman to unalive Derek Lee Cardello Smith. And this man that she allegedly paid was Vincent Smothers. So she's telling me a police, someone saying that she is a police officer, not only paid a judge, not only falsified police reports, not only accepted money to do so, but also she was there when a man was paid by a detective with the Wayne County Police Department. Nobody's talking about this. No law and crime video on this. No Nancy Grace, no Beth Karras Curious Case came out on this yet. She said when this man took the money to unalive this other lady, Rose Cobb, the day after Christmas 2007. She says, number 10, I was present when that same detective paid another woman $4,500 to place false R charges on Derek Lee Cardello Smith. She said, I saw it. I'm a witness. I saw somebody get paid to make false allegations. Number 11, I lied under oath to the magistrate judge of the 36th district while present with Sergeant Ortiz from the police department to obtain the arrest warrant for Derek Lee Cardello Smith, and I violated his due process rights that he is afforded by the Constitution. She spelled warrant wrong, which is interesting. That's interesting to me that a police officer would spell warrant wrong. She says, I also lied under oath in the Wayne County Circuit Court in the criminal case of the People versus Derek Lee Cardello Smith. She puts the case number. I make this affidavit freely, voluntarily, and with full knowledge that I will have to testify to these facts, and I will testify to them in a state or federal court, civil or criminal, civil of criminal. Again, there's a lot of typos in here. Because my actions while working as a police officer have resulted in an innocent me being held illegally, and that man is Derek Lee Cardello Smith. Now, this is not the only affidavit, okay? There was another filing the next day, which was yesterday. So let me just take a look at that. Again, y'all, everyone's innocent until proven guilty. And in fact, and indeed, Derek Lee Cardello Smith has already been adjudicated to be guilty, but he is saying he deserves a second chance to have his case looked at again because the police officer is saying all of this stuff. She personally is admitting to stuff and saying that she is an eyewitness to some other untoward behaviors. Now, if I'm the judge in this case and I'm fair, which, if I was the judge, I would try to be fair. I believe that I would have to reconcile. I would have to at least check into the veracity of this police officer's statements. And again, if what she's saying is true, she should actually be in big trouble for going along with this. But then at the same time, what she's going to say is my family's lives were threatened. I was going to take this money, go along with my life, or my family was going to be unalive. That's kind of what she's making it seem like. Here is the other filing from yesterday. This one's 15 pages long. He said, this is a motion to vacate the order of dismissal based on fraudulent concealment conducted by the defendant's staff and employees. So it's Derek Lee Cardello Smith versus Sean P. Diddy, Puff Daddy Combs. Allow this matter to proceed to a jury trial, grant the judgment in favor of the plaintiff where the plaintiff can prove the defendant's committed fraud upon this court. And the plaintiff was given newly discovered evidence. It was not available at the time during these proceedings, requiring full reversal. So if you have evidence and it's truly newly discovered, like there really is no possible way you could have had it at the time of your trial, that is one reason to reopen. And that's what he's trying to do. Number one, he has two number ones in here, girl. Number one, the court has fraud committed upon it by the defendants requiring relief because this evidence couldn't have been discovered. He says the Detroit police officer, Nicole Rabier, has authored and notarized an affidavit stating that she worked for Diddy. She knew about the defendant's false claims and the framing and the cover-up. Number 2, he says Andrea Bomarito admits to working for Sean Combs. I think that's one of the alleged victims. One of the alleged victims is admitting to working for Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs to frame and lie about kidnapping and R charges against Derek Lee Cardello Smith, and there is an affidavit attached. The affidavit of Suzette Samuels, another affidavit. So this is a victim. He got an affidavit from her. This is an assistant Wayne County prosecutor. She has admitted to working to cover up the R of this plaintiff by Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. So what Derek Lee Cardello Smith is saying is that it is Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs who did the crime. But Derek Lee Cardello Smith is being blamed and has been blamed for it. My hands are shaking at the thought that this could be true. What a freaking nightmare. Number 4, plaintiff Derek Lee Cardello Smith has since been provided with new proof of the fraudulent concealment conducted by the defendant through the Detroit Police Department, Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, and most assuredly the affidavits of the assistant Wayne County Prosecutor, Suzette Samuels, verifying her role in the fraudulent concealment, requiring the court to waive the statute of limitations. He says, I'm submitting affidavits verifying that the defendant worked and ordered her and her associates to conceal the evidence of the crime being committed against this plaintiff pertaining to the SA of plaintiff. Now, he claims he was SA'd as well. And if you look at that police officer affidavit, she says he was the victim that night. He will also be submitting a Rule 60B motion through this filing for full decision by the trial court. The affidavits he claims offer proof that support his claims that all of these people worked for Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs and worked with him and for him to cover up Derek Lee Cardello Smith's assault that happened on him and also to frame him. They have come forward to state that they have in fact done their actions and that have come forward to the front to state what they have done and why they did it. And it was all to cover up SA committed upon this plaintiff by Diddy. He says this is allegations in a federal court filing. He states that these actions are in fact acts committed by the defendants and they never admitted it because it would have destroyed their case. He therefore asks that this court grant relief from judgment of the order granting the defendant's motion to dismiss. So he wants that to be overturned. Here are the 3 exhibits. So we already read Nicole Rabier. Here is an affidavit. When is it signed? February 10th, 2025. Now this one is not. This one is notarized as well. It's long. This video is probably going to be long, but she's a lawyer. This is making me sick. I'm just beside me. I'm shocked. Truly. I didn't even think I could get shocked. You know what I'm shocked about? That it's like I'm looking at it in writing and somebody's admitting it. She puts her bar number. I'm a lawyer and assistant prosecuting attorney for the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office in Detroit. I prosecuted Derek Lee Cardello Smith in the criminal case of the people, 2008. I worked directly for Kim Worthy, Wayne County Prosecutor, and for Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs, owner and founder of Bad Boy Records. Number 1, the Office of the Wayne County Prosecutor has framed Mr. Derek Lee Cardello Smith. I gotta look up, does this woman exist? I am beside myself. There is apparently a Suzette Samuels who is a lead attorney in the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. I mean, that is what the internet, I just did a Google search, but I'm like, I'm not so far as to say I'm shaking, but I am pretty shook.
I like it. It's mine. The prices blow my mind.
I'm shaking, but I am pretty shook. No video made on this, no Law and Crime, no Nancy Grace. I mean, like, nobody's talking about this. They're talking about Brian Friedman going to an interview and they're not talking about this. A prosecutor who currently works for the Wayne County Prosecutor, she's a lead attorney, She's filing a notarized affidavit saying the office of the Wayne County prosecutor framed Derek Lee Cardello Smith for the crimes of criminal S conduct beginning in 1997. And when they did it in 2008 and again in 2019 when he was incarcerated. Number 2, the person who directed these prosecutions were and still are Mr. Sean John Combs, musician, music mogul, artist, owner, and founder of Bad Boy Records. And the other person directing it is Kim Worthy, a current Wayne County prosecutor. Number 3, Mr. Sean Combs and Kim Worthy, this prosecutor, ordered the Detroit Police Department's 9th Precinct to arrest and frame Derek Lee Cardello Smith for multiple R's that he did not commit. Number 4, Mr. Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs and this prosecutor, Kim Worthy, directed me, this is a lawyer, active lawyer, she's this notarized, to use my powers in office as the assistant Wayne County prosecutor to falsely charge and convict Mr. Derek Lee Cardello Smith with 6 counts of criminal S conduct and 2 counts of kidnapping, which I did out of fear of my life, and which I did because I was paid to do so. In this and many other cases, totaling 128 Black male citizens of Detroit, Saginaw, sorry, I'm not familiar with this name, Flint, Michigan, and other counties of Michigan that were investors in Bad Boy Records prior to 1997. All of the investors, a lot of the investors, she said 128 Black male citizens who had invested in Bad Boy Records before 1997. She said, directed me to use my powers to falsely charge and convict Derek Lee Cardello Smith. I mean, do the feds know about this? She said she did it out of fear of her life. 128. It really infuriates me because so much of Sean P. Puff Daddy Combs' image has been built on this Black king god, Black male, support Black businesses. Come to find out, according to this affidavit filed in federal court and apparently notarized by a lawyer with a bar number who you could look up, 128 Black male citizens who were investors, investing in a Black business. Number 5, Mr. Combs ordered the prosecutor, Kim Worthy, to prosecute Cardello Smith for the crimes and to keep him in prison for these crimes after Diddy had taken a $150,000 investment from Cardello Smith in early January 1997. Mr. Cardello Smith demanded a notarized receipt with Mr. Marcus Ashford overseeing the notary services. Now, that's interesting because Marcus Ashford, I believe, is the one who notarized some of this. So again, y'all take it with a grain of salt because we have people here who are admitting that they have falsified documents before. That's a big hit on their credibility, in my opinion. And probably in a judge. I mean, by the rules of evidence, that's a hit on their credibility. Number 6, Mr. Combs and my boss, Kim Worthy, have framed Derek Lee Cardello Smith to cover up the R of Cardello Smith. So Cardello Smith was R'd, they're saying, by Diddy in 1997. And this was while he was serving as Diddy's bartender from 96 to 97. Diddy sent 3 men to unalive Cardello Smith in 97 while he had a female companion. And they were exiting a movie theater. He was stabbed in his right arm while defending himself. And he actually unalived the assailant. Cardello Smith was placed under arrest for second-degree. This happened, and then the unaliving was hidden, and it led to Cardello Smith being sent to prison for multiple counts of criminal S conduct, crimes of which he is innocent of. I worked with the 97 prosecutor under Michael Dugan and then Judge Kim Worthy. So Kim Worthy used to be a judge? Michael Dugan is the current Detroit mayor and other officials, and they helped cover up the crime. Hold on, who's the mayor of Detroit? This is crazy. This was supposed to be a short little 10-minute, y'all. He's the mayor of Detroit right now. I mean, again, these people are the same people that have admitted to coming out. It's Michael. This is the mayor of Detroit.
What's going on, everyone? Wanted to give a quick testimony to Chris and his team over at the Data Engineering Academy.
Now, it's Michael. This is the mayor of Detroit. Where is he? I want to see a picture. This is crazy. This is really, really insane. He said, I worked with the assistant prosecutor under Michael Dugan and then Judge Kim Worthy. She was a judge. The current mayor of Detroit. Other officials, I worked with them to cover up the crime. I played a key role with Detroit police officers, DIDDY, who was personally involved, other members of Wayne County, and current high-ranking Wayne County government officials to hide the homicide and to unlawfully place Derek Lee Cardello Smith in the custody of the Michigan Department of Corrections for crimes of misconduct, kidnapping, all of which he is innocent of. Sean P. Puff Daddy Combs was always personally involved and directed these meetings in order to cover up the R that he committed on Derek Lee Cardello Smith and to ensure Cardello Smith never collected on his rightful claim to 49% of Bad Boy Records. This is based upon his lead role in the investments of money. So this is just groundbreaking and shocking. The man had invested $150,000. According to this affidavit, I don't know, I wasn't there, $150,000 in Bad Boy. And this is to cover up that he's the rightful owner of 50% of it, 49%. Diddy and Kim Worthy both paid cash directly to Mr. Vincent Smother, a hitman, Patricia Penman, detective in Detroit and Dearborn, David Cobb, Detroit Police Department Sergeant, who's now deceased, Carly Carpenter, Tina Bomarito, Andrea Bomarito, and others to kidnap and attempt to unalive Mr. Derek Lee Cardello Smith in 2008, only to fail, and then decided to use the same people to frame Derek Lee Cardello Smith for R that he did not do. Carly Carpenter, sisters Tina and Andrea Bomarito, are S assault and S slavery victims of Diddy. Wayne County officials, Kim Worthy, and they are part of a crime ring and a criminal enterprise throughout the state of Michigan. I paid $5,000 to a judge, a district court judge, to secure an arrest warrant for Cardello Smith in January 2008. I paid $5,000 to Judge Willie Lipscomb, 36th District Court Judge in Detroit, to falsely determine that there was enough evidence to make Cardello Smith stand trial in the Wayne County Circuit Court at the probable cause conference hearing, and he was therefore bound over for trial. I paid $10,000 to another judge, Judge Daniel P. Ryan in the 3rd Circuit Court, judge of Wayne County, to grant all of my motions in Circuit Court and secure a conviction of Cardello Smith by way of denying every motion that Cardello Smith was entitled to be given, resulting in his plea of no contest. It's $20,000 right there. 15, I paid $4,300 to Judge Thomas Cameron of the 3rd Circuit Court to deny Cardello Smith's post-conviction motions, even though he was entitled to the relief he was entitled to, and they were denied. I paid Judge Bridget Mary Hathaway, 3rd Circuit Court Judge of Wayne County, $23,000 from January 2019 to February 1st, 2025, just now, last month. She's saying that over the course of 2019 to 2025, she paid a judge personally, Bridget Mary Hathaway, $23,000 to deny all of Cardello Smith's rightful motions that he was entitled to be granted. I performed the transaction of these monetary handovers on the orders of Kim Worthy and Sean P. Puff Daddy Combs, and I complied fully with these orders of the two persons named because they have their hands deep into the elected and appointed workers of the County of Wayne, City of Detroit, and other areas of Michigan. Mr. Cobb committed unalive of himself in 2008 when Cardello Smith was going to call him as a witness in his criminal case at trial. It was not suicide. It was murder, ordered by Sean P. Puff Daddy Combs and Kim L. Worthy. He passed 2 days before Cardello Smith's trial was to begin, resulting in Cardello Smith entering a no contest plea. He was going to call this man as a witness and he got unalived, is what this woman is saying. Every document in the case Cardello Smith filed against Diddy is real, accurate, and true. As that, I have the same copies of those documents, and I have had the documents for many years. Kim Worthy has them too. Mr. Combs used Kim Worthy, who used Detroit police officer Patrick Jackman and other Detroit police officers to work with 2 LA police officers to execute Mr. Tupac Shakur and Mr. Marion Knight on direct orders of Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. Hello? A lawyer saying, former judge, current prosecutor Kim Worthy used Detroit police officer Patrick Jackman and another Detroit Police Department officer to work with 2 LA police officers to execute Tupac and Suge Knight on direct orders of Mr. Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. This is paragraph 20. She says this is all proven by documents contained in the case of Derek Lee Cardello Smith versus Sean Combs. Case number 24-12647, U.S. District Court, Eastern District of Michigan, and the companion case of Cardello Smith versus Sean Combs, 24-12737. I state that these documents are true and real and not forged. Cardello Smith stands by them, so do I, because I have the exact same copies of the documents Kim Worthy does as well. I am shocked. I didn't read this before, and I wasn't planning on reading it word for word. I had no idea this said this like this. I read the police officer one. That was like shocking enough. 21. The Office of the Wayne County Prosecutor has destroyed all homicide files beginning in 95 through 2003, and this was done to hide the homicide Derek Lee Cardello Smith had originally committed in self-defense, and to frame him for the crimes he is in fact innocent of. I currently have video footage of Cardello Smith defending himself in the parking lot in 1997. Now, 1997, I believe, is the same year of the Tupac unaliving. Or is it Biggie? Hold on. March 9th, 1997 is whenever Christopher Wallace, aka Notorious B.I.G., was unalived. And Tupac was September 13th, 1996. Put a 333 in the chat if you were a little bit shocked. Even though you don't get shocked, you're still a little shocked. I never expected to see this much apparently notarized, full-on admissions, and nobody, no CNN, no Chloe Malos, no NBC. They can hunt down Jane Doe, find her identity, and nobody can report on this. She said she has a video footage of Cardello Smith defending himself in the park. That's enough to open it up right now. Open it back up. Vacate the judgment, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not the judge. I currently have video footage of this man defending himself in the parking lot in 1997. I have video of him being framed for multiple R at the direction of Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. I have video of Sean Combs' R victims being coerced and forced to testify falsely that Cardello Smith committed horrific acts against them, when it was actually Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs R-ing them, beating them, forcing them to do it, along with other Wayne County officials and members of law enforcement. Number 24, I have documents that support all of what Mr. Cardello Smith has claimed. And he was threatened by Sean Combs that if he went through with the SA charges against Diddy, that Cardello Smith's family and friends' lives would be threatened. Number 25, Mr. Cardello Smith submitted a report from William Proctor in 2024, last year, that I can't tell what this says right here. I don't know what I can only speculate. That something, the hitman, Vincent Smothers, had unalived many people. Kim Worthy provided Mr. Smothers with a sweetheart deal in exchange for his assistance with unalivings on Sean Combs's orders. Our office, the prosecutor's office, honored that deal with a man.
You don't have to waste 20 grand on your medical coding training, and you don't have to spend years going to school either. You can get your medical coding training for under $2,000 and get job ready in under 6 months. Let me tell you about this new approach. Hey guys, I'm Grant Aldrich and I'm a known education expert, and I've been featured in tons of publications like Forbes, Bloomberg, and USA Today. Now, most people believe that to get their medical coding training, they would have to attend an on-campus college program. These programs could take 2 years to complete, and the tuition can go as high as $30,000. If that's not bad enough, your classes have these rigid schedules, and you have to drive to campus multiple times a week. This isn't possible if you're already working or if you have kids. These campus programs just aren't designed for busy adults. Now, does this mean that you can't make that switch to medical coding? You absolutely can, but you're gonna need a new approach. I recently made a video where I talked with Victoria Mall, and I asked her several questions about the medical billing and coding career. Victoria has been in medical coding for over 2 decades and runs perhaps the biggest YouTube channel for medical coders. I asked Victoria about the different training options for
with 26, Mr. Cardello Smith did not commit any R. All the evidence that was to be presented at trial was in fact manufactured, false, and simply did not exist. It was all done at the orders of Kim L. Worthy and Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs to get revenge on a former bad boy member, Derek Lee Cardello Smith. Number 27, I acted contrary to laws. She's saying under penalty of perjury. She's saying in a sworn declaration that's notarized that she broke laws. I acted contrary to laws and every ethical rule, and I violated Mr. Cardello Smith's due process rights every step of the way. Number 28, I paid Bridget Mary Hathaway a total of $10,000 last year, March 2024, to deny any of Cardello Smith's motions or successive motions for relief from judgment of the sentence. So she paid last year. She's claiming she paid $10,000 to Judge Bridget Mary Hathaway to deny Derek Lee Cardello Smith's motions for relief, to get out of that judgment, like to appeal, overturn, whatever. She said, I paid $10,000 to the judge. I told the judge that Kim L. Worthy had said that Cardello Smith has an affidavit from Tina Bomarito that he's using to get the factual basis of his plea withdrawn. I asked her to ignore this evidence in this denial, and she did. And it was done because Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs ordered it to be done. This lady was just paying people last month, though. February 1st, 2005, the same month that she signed this. 4 days later, she signed this. That's odd. What happened? What changed? Number 29. On January 29th this year, Judge Bridget M. Hathaway issued an order denying Derek Lee Cardello Smith's successive motion for relief from judgment and did not address the recantation of Tina Bomarito, as she was paid to not address. Tina Bomarito is one of the alleged victims. And she had recanted what she had said, alleging against Derek Lee Cardello Smith. This lady is claiming she paid a judge to ignore that evidence. Number 30, Judge Bridget M. Hathaway is also overseeing the case of Carly Carpenter in the People versus Derek Lee Cardello Smith, and she has been paid to issue another decision on that case that will completely avoid any of the recantation of Carly Carpenter, who lied and who was paid to lie. So there's another case against him, Carly Carpenter, not Bomarito, Carpenter. It was established and started in 2019. This lady is saying in a filing yesterday, this filed yesterday, she has been paid to issue another decision. She paid a judge to ignore critical evidence of a victim recanting their statement. Is this a dream? Am I dreaming? Is the United States of America? I knew that there were crooked judges, crooked prosecutors, crooked cops. I knew it's like one of the foundations of the channel, girl. But I am not used to seeing them type things out and submit them like this. 31, Judge Bridget Hathaway has completely earned her money by entering decisions against Cardello Smith. That shows that she will not allow the recantation of affidavits to be placed on the court record, because to do so would mean that she has accepted bribes to deny the relief to an innocent man. 32, the Office of Wayne County Prosecutor under Kim L. Worthy and the Office of the Wayne County District Court under Judges Daniel Ryan, Thomas Cameron, and Bridget M. Hathaway are directly working for Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs, P. Diddy, and I am a direct employee of Sean Diddy Combs. I am a direct employee of Sean Diddy.
Hi everyone, my name is Sienna Page, and my favorite thing about Rent Ready is that it helps my tenants boost their credit score with on-time payments.
Rent Ready has made
direct employee of Sean Diddy. I am a direct employee of Sean Diddy Combs. A prosecutor saying this. I framed Cardello Smith for R he did not do by using victims of Sean Combs to frame Cardello Smith. And it was all done for the sole purpose of keeping Cardello Smith in prison and not allowing him to get a hold of his money that he is entitled to. Mr. Sean Combs and Kim Elworthy's reach extends to other law offices, lawyers, prosecutors, law enforcement, state judges, state appeals judges, federal judges at the trial and appellate level. And it is a reach that I am now sick and tired of having leading me, which has led me to this release of the truth. Number 34, I work directly for Sean Combs, and Kim Worthy does too. And I framed Cardello Smith, and Kim Worthy framed Cardello Smith. Numerous Michigan judges in every level of court have been paid in some way or another to deny Cardello Smith his release from custody because, I don't know, somebody wanted Cardello Smith to look like a serial, it's hard to see what that says. See that word right there? I don't know what that is. Because something wanted Cardello Smith to look like a serial S offender, and he is not. But we succeeded in it. And it was wrong. The man is innocent, and I am guilty of framing him. And so are my bosses, Kim Worthy and Sean Combs. Any person who says that this is false or that this is not a legally binding statement is lying themselves. It is made in my official capacity while I am still an employee of the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office and as a citizen in my individual capacity that I was bribed and did bribe to frame an innocent man, Cardello Smith, on orders of Kim Elworthy and Sean Combs. I will attest to these facts because they are true and real. And what has happened to Cardello Smith is a tragedy and a miscarriage of justice. His no contest plea should be withdrawn, and this matter should be allowed to go to jury trial, or the charges against him should be dismissed in their entirety. I framed Cardello Smith for the worst crimes imaginable, and he is innocent. And I acted on orders of Sean Combs to do it. Because of Cardello Smith's inside knowledge as to how Bad Boy Records was built, how Sean Combs operates, and who he is. Cardello Smith is a good man, and Sean Combs is a bad boy. I acted against the law and hide behind my immunity and protections afforded to me by Kim Worthy. This is wrong, and it must be corrected. The Office of the Wayne County Prosecutor will deny this, but I will not deny it. I am guilty. Sean Combs is guilty. Kim Worthy is guilty. The Detroit Police Department is guilty. Officer David Cobb is guilty. Tina Bomarito is guilty. Carly Carpenter is guilty. Andrea Bomarito is guilty. And the only person who is innocent of anything criminal is Cardello Smith. I state that I am a direct employee of Sean Combs. And while I am in my office, I framed Derek Lee Cardello Smith and other men who I prosecuted. And I did so on the orders of Sean Combs. And it was to hide two things. One, Sean Combs' assault of Derek Lee Cardello Smith. Two, to stop Cardello Smith from collecting on his rightful entitlements under the contractual agreement reached between him and Sean Combs for $150,000 in exchange for 49% of all the holdings of Sean Combs. And it was also to hide and cover up the fact that Tupac Shakur was unalived on orders of Sean Combs and Kim L. Worthy. She helped to effect said unaliving. Also, the attempted unaliving of Suge Knight in 1996 to cover up the multiple crimes that our office and Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs is a part of, and all to keep Cardello Smith silent. As an original member and investor of Bad Boy Records, and Cardello Smith's personal insight into Sean Combs and his empire, I swear and declare under penalty of perjury that the above is true, real, accurate, and based on my own personal knowledge and information and belief. Anything contrary to these events are, in fact, they themselves false. And I make these allegations freely, truly, and knowingly that I am subject to perjury. The events happened, and I will testify to that. And I will testify to that in state or federal court if called upon to do so voluntarily or by subpoena. Y'all, there's another affidavit from a alleged victim. When's this one from? Oh, this one's from February. I mean, this one's from just not even a month ago. February. There is no such thing as February 29th. Okay, so this is another issue. It's not a leap year, right? I'm just double checking, but I know it's 28. Okay, so here's one thing I need to point it out. This person's supposed to be a notary public. It says February 29th, 2025. That doesn't exist. That's not a date, but maybe it's an accident, whatever. Here's the affidavit of Andrea. The fact that it's notarized, though, I mean, it is notarized. Sean D. Fleming. My name is Andrea Bomarito. I work for Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs, also known as P. Diddy Puff Daddy. I work for Kim L. Worthy, Chief Wayne County Prosecutor. I work for Suzette Samuels, Assistant Wayne County Prosecutor. I was paid $10,000 between October 2007 and June 2008 to say that Derek Lee Cardello Smith kidnapped me, SA'd me, and beat me. I testified falsely under oath that these events happened when I was on the stand in the 36th District Court for the City of Detroit. That testimony was used in the Wayne County Circuit Court to falsely convict Derek Lee Cardello Smith. Number 7, Cardello Smith did not kidnap and did not R me or my sister Tina. This was all a lie. I was paid to say it happened on the orders of David Cobb, Sergeant of the Detroit Police Department. I attempted to have Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy's assistant prosecutor, Suzette Samuels. I told them I lied, and they said they would get me for filing a false police report, as well as my sister Tina, and they would lose their winning streak. I said, so what? Number 9, having seen that the courts require me to recant in order to get the truth told, then I stated that I am recanting because I participated in a conspiracy with my sister and many other people to frame an innocent man, Derek Lee Cardello Smith. It is wrong for me to have this. I understand that I could be charged with filing a false police report, but so be it. For the truth, I will do it. I lied under oath in the case of the People versus Derek Lee Cardello Smith in 2008. In the 3rd Judicial Circuit Court. Derek Lee Cardello Smith did not abduct me. He did not R me. He did not abduct my sister Tina. He did not R my sister Tina. I was paid to lie by Sergeant David Cobb of the Detroit Police Department, and I will testify to these facts in an open court of law, be it civil or criminal. Number 11, release Mr. Derek Lee Cardello Smith from prison. Because he is innocent and because he did not R me or R anyone. I lied. That is the facts of the case. And it was because I was paid and forced to lie. No one has promised me anything or paid me to say this. It is the truth. And my lie has an innocent man incarcerated, and he should be released. I also need to testify to have criminal charges on me dropped.
You have something in your home right now that could make you thousands of dollars and literally change your financial future.
Criminal charges on me dropped. What?